Citing to international decisions and cases can be challenging because there are so many different courts issuing judgments. There are domestic courts with different levels in each country, international courts and tribunals, and arbitration courts, as well as United States court decisions that use international law. Each foreign jurisdiction will have its own method for citing to cases that come before its courts. Much like citing to statutes or codes, the citation will vary depending on the type of legal system the country uses and the process that cases go through. When you begin using cases from a specific country, read through the Blue Book entry on citing to those cases. It will not only help you to understand how the country organizes its decisions and reporters, but it will also help you better locate those sources. It may also have different rules for citing to cases from different time periods or for different levels of each court. If the decisions are not in English, the Blue Book will also give you hints for where to find translations of cases and how to cite each court properly in English. When citing to international legal cases, you should still follow Rule 10 as closely as you can. Most of the major international courts are listed with examples in Blue Book Rule 21.5. If you need a refresher on citing to cases, go back and look over the advanced Blue Booking video on the topic. Unlike domestic cases, the case names for international courts usually begin with a descriptive name, followed by the party names. Take a look at this example from the ICJ. It begins with the description, the names of the parties, then the citation to the reporter, followed by a pin cite and the date. You should use a parenthetical to indicate if you are referring to a smaller part of the decision, the same way you would indicate a citation to a concurring or dissenting opinion in a U.S. case. The Blue Book gives examples of citations to the most common international courts, but you may come across a court that isn't on the list. If you cannot find a clear example of a citation to that court, try to mirror the citation for the ICJ or a similar judicial body. You should try to cite to the case where it appears in either the International Law Reports or the Annual Digest and Reports of Public International Law. The abbreviations to those reporters and examples of citations are available in Rule 21.5.8. If you cannot locate the case in either of those sources, you can always cite to a yearbook or an authoritative website where the decision appears. International arbitrations are not treated much differently from international decisions. Rule 21.6 covers citation to arbitrations. It says to cite by analogy using Rule 21.5 where you can. There is a table in the back of the Blue Book, T5, that lists the common arbitration reporters and their abbreviations. There are also examples in Rule 21.6 on citing to a few common reporters. Again, you can cite to an internet source, but only if the decision isn't published in an official reporter. Many of these courts use document numbers to organize their cases. Much like the UN document symbols, they help organize the court's decisions and aid in locating the source. If you use an internet source, don't forget to still include the case numbers assigned to these decisions. It will help your reader to be able to find the decision even if your hyperlink goes dead after time.